What's good, YouTube? It's your boy King Leo, and we have finally completed week 1 of the NFL season. We had a bunch of close games, a bunch of great players playing, and today we're going to be watching maybe the player who played the best all weekend, and that's Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. Now, Justin Jefferson is coming into his 3rd year. We're really looking for him to really establish himself as a top receiver in the league. Now, we all know he already is a top receiver in the league, probably top 5 after his first 2 years. I mean, the first 2 years of his career, he had like the best first 2 seasons ever of all time. So we're definitely expecting big things from him. Now, a difference for this season, there's a new offense this year. This is Kevin O'Connell coming in, what he's bringing from the Rams last year, and we've seen Cooper Kupp do, incredible things last year. So we're expecting that from Justin Jefferson. And Justin Jefferson has also said himself he's ready to take over as the number 1 wide receiver in the league. And week 1 this year, he's not playing. He went out first game, caught 9 of 11 targets, 184 yards and 2 touchdowns. So really, I wanted to get into this game and break down, why he exploded, and then whenever I was watching these clips, I was like, a lot of it is Justin Jefferson being great, and a little bit of it is the Packers aren't too smart in guarding him. So we're going to break down this game. So let's get into it. This is the first play here. Now, the Packers have a really good defense overall. This is going to be Eric Stokes down here at the bottom. So I don't have no scripts wrote in for these plays. I'm just going to go through, play them from what I took from the game and break them down. So on this route right here, so this is like a little square in, maybe, I think he tried to run a square in is what he ran. So starting at the line, this is press man. So he takes an inside release and notices the way that he is selling that he's trying to run down the field here. He is running straight up the field at that safety. And then at the top of this route, he is so just violent and breaking it off, and he comes really flat. So even though he didn't get the ball here, I don't believe. No, Kirk threw it to the check down in the flat. But Justin Jefferson, so start at the release, gets inside, runs up the field, threatening the deep ball. So Eric Stokes has to respect that, and then he just snaps this route off so flat and violent. So starting out, really, really good route right there. Right here, I believe he's at the bottom here with Eric Stokes again. They have two high safeties. Let's see if this is man or if they drop out into his own. It looks like a man. Takes another inside release. This is the same route. This is the same route. This time he gets the ball. So he does the same thing. Eric Stokes is in press man. He's playing with outside leverage, and it kind of works to Jefferson's advantage having a in-breaking route anyways. But still, he gives a fake outside, gets inside, swipes the hand of Eric Stokes, gets him stacked. And look how quickly Justin Jefferson gets a step on him and gets up the field just because of winning at the release. Being at the line of scrimmage and winning, that's the most important thing as a receiver, because that determines the outcome of your route and, what's going to go on. Because Justin Jefferson released so well, got inside and got up the field, now he's got Eric Stokes stacked. Now he can do anything he wants with Eric Stokes. He can run go, he can run in breaking, he can break out. You're at Justin Jefferson's mercy right now. So backing this up, we're going to back it up again and watch it in full speed. Outside, inside, swipe the hand. So he just used a single release, swipes his hand down, gets up the field, breaks it off so quick and violent. There's no choppy steps, no beating the drum. It's just one stagger step in the ground and break off of it, explode off of that step. Good hands. He is a problem. Here we go, next play. He's at the bottom here with Adam Thielen. Looks like the Packers are showing zone. They have 2 high safeties. The corners are playing off. I just love the way he runs his routes. It's so fluid, and it's also the speed and pace in which he runs it at. It's so hard to defend this because of how It's kind of unorthodox the way he runs, but he sells like his feints so well to get separation. Now he didn't get the ball here, but look at the separation. He's wide open if Kirk wants to make this throw. I don't think Kirk really has the arm strength to make that throw, but Jefferson definitely created separation there. So now Justin Jefferson is in the slot here. We have an empty set from Minnesota. And I don't know why they're putting their pass rushers / linebackers out here trying to cover them. They're in zone, but it's really good balance. We're looking at the traits right now. So, this is a bigger, stronger guy than Justin Jefferson, and he ends up getting his hands on him. And Jefferson not really falling on the ground or out of his route, like stays in control. It's just good balance here. Breaks outside. I love how flat, and he's also coming back to the ball about a yard on these routes, because if there is a corner there and say he kind of drifts up the field, then that creates an angle for an interception. It's also hard to throw to make. So even when he's open, he's still doing these little nuances to help his quarterback out. And then he gets up the field, good yak. This is the play that he scored on. So it was man-to-man, I believe. He kind of came in motion, and the Packers just had a miscommunication. You see the cornerback, he's kind of signaling like switch, pick him up. Nobody takes him. Had two guys go right here on Thielen. He's wide open. Get a little gritty action going on. So this is the big play. Wish he would have scored on that play, but so he starts out in the slot right here. Now this is going to be a zone from the Packers. Again, fights through the hands, and watch what he does at the top of this route before he breaks it off. So it's a zone. The safeties are split. They're on the hashes. So what he does, he knows that he's running post and that he has to split the safeties, but he has to cross this safety's face. So what he does is that he runs north and south with this safety to really threaten him. You see this safety, he's turned his hips. He's in the back pedal. Gets him flipped with this. This is just beautiful to watch. So you see he does a little outside stutter that he's going like kind of like up this little seam and just running a vertical. So this safety turns, and then this ball game. It's just the little things. Like he could have just broke this off, ran, split between the safeties, and this safety would have been in position to make a play and run with him because he sees him. But wait, like I said, he attacks him north and south. He sees right when he turns his hips. Jefferson is playing this. This is a fast game, and Jefferson is playing in slow motion in his head. He's just so advanced, being in his third season. Right when this DB turns his hips, Jefferson gives a little outside sell, gets him completely turned around, splits him. This safety's not even looking. He's not aware of what's going on. So he gets behind him, and he's off to the races. I love watching this guy. He might very well be the best receiver in the league. I mean, Devontae Adams, he's done it for a couple of years now, so I think I'll still give him the nod, but Jefferson, he's number 2 to me right now. He's in the slot on this play. And we just see the little shake and bake at the top. It's like a little hop step, little jump hezzy. Little hesitation move. Crossover. This guy's he's like watching a point guard. Like I said, running these routes, like when you're in man zone or whatever, to create separation, you have to really attack and threaten the defender. So I've noticed this now. This is back-to-back plays, but he does this a lot. So what he does is he really attacks the defender, closes space to create separation. Don't try to create separation whenever, you know, you're 5 yards away from the guy, because then he can just break on it. He doesn't feel threatened at that point. So he gets up on this guy. He's a yard away from him, and then just makes his move, fights the hands. So he's open here. I believe this is him at the bottom. Let's watch what happens here. It's the same route he just ran, except there was nobody there. Like I said, it's just he gets to the top, hesitate, his change of pace. Now, he plays 2 different ways. One, he runs his routes, you know, so quick and like breaks off. This where it's like almost unguardable. And then he does this little change up hesitation to where he kind of just is almost like a, I wouldn't say like a bunny. Hop. Boom. So on this play, I believe it's him at the bottom. It's kind of hard to tell, but I think that's him at the bottom. So they run little crossers here. And what happened was the Packers were in man-to-man. They were in off-man coverage. So Jair Alexander, which I wish we could have seen a little bit more of him and Jair play. We do have a couple clips in this video, but they're in man-to-man coverage. So when Jair is playing so far off and Jefferson breaks in like that, now he's going to try to get there, but he sees Thielen is coming on the other crosser. So what Jair does is he tries to just signal and like do a little pass off, a little switch game. The other corner isn't on the same page. Jefferson is just wide open. Not too much that he did like fundamental wise, but I mean, we do see the run yards after catch ability to be able to score here. But that was kind of him just getting schemed open for that touchdown. But like I said, another dimension of his game is after the catch, being able to create yards. So he comes in motion across the formation. They have, I think this is Preston Smith. And like I said, look, he's running the same route 3 times in a row from the slot. This is Preston Smith in man-to-man versus the Vikings' best receiver. This is what I was talking about with Green Bay. It didn't seem that like they had a game plan to slow Justin Jefferson down. They just kind of let him do what he wants to. And part of that, like, I want to say it's week 1. So we didn't, and it's a new offense Minnesota's running, so we didn't really know what to expect. But I feel like being one of the better defenses in the league, you should be able to adjust and like not let this guy just torch you the whole game, unless Green Bay just gave up, which they might have the way their offense is playing. But, you know, you have one of the best premier corners in the NFL, Jair Alexander. Like, why not just stick this guy on him and travel? But I think the next time they play, we will see a lot more of Jair and Justin Jefferson, because this can't happen. You can't have your edge rusher playing man-to-man coverage versus Justin Jefferson, who is the number 2 receiver in the league. Maybe number 1, but we're going to say number 2. He's at least number 2. Like, he just, this is taking candy from a baby. Like, there's nothing that Preston Smith can do there to guard that. That is outside of his athletic capacity. Right here, though, here we go. We have Jair and Justin at the bottom, singled up. Now, there is a safety back here, but he's not playing in a deep zone. So it's 1-on-1. I think this is the first time we've seen this look all day. So Jair is in like a press type of coverage. He doesn't get hands on him. He kind of just backs up and mirrors him. As Jefferson takes the outside release. Now Jair is in perfect position. He's on top by a little bit. He's on his hip right here. Justin Jefferson gets the ball thrown his way. Kirk Cousins makes it like a back shoulder throw. Jefferson just gets a little bit too handsy. They throw the flag on him for offensive pass interference. So one of the times where we've seen Jair, you know, line up on him. There wasn't a lot of separation, and ended up drawing a penalty on Justin Jefferson. So Green Bay definitely needs to do that next time they play, or whenever they play any good wide receiver. Really good play by Jair Alexander. Now, still, that's a great adjustment and great ability to be able to get hands on that and catch it by Justin. Here we go. This is them again. Jair and is like a press technique. And that's just, we see Justin Jefferson wins the rep right there. So again, Jair doesn't really try to get his hands on Justin. Justin just immediately goes for an outside release, and he gets up the field so quick. That's what you guys have to do. If you're like a young receiver watching this, once you make your release, whatever route you're running, get up the field. Make the defense feel like you're running down the field, running a deep post, go route, corner route. Like, make them feel like you're going, because that's what like sets up any in-breaking, out-breaking, comeback route that you're running. So he gets up the field, he gets him stacked. Now, he's not stacked, right behind his back, but Justin Jefferson is in front of him. And he does a little outside shimmy, breaks in. He is like so violent at the top of his routes, and it's so smooth. There's no wasted steps. Like I said earlier, there's no, chop my feet to run a square in. There's no like that beating the drum technique that some coaches and receivers use. He just puts his foot in the ground, explodes, and he comes flat. Tons of separation from Jair Alexander there. Believe he's at the top right here, and this empty look. He just runs a deep crosser. Now, this was kind of schemed open again because they ran receivers past each other, both crossing. KJ Osborne runs, and he kind of gets in the way of the guy responsible for Jefferson on this play. Jefferson still goes up, high points it, good hands, hold on through the contact at the ground. And that's going to be all that we have. So, phenomenal game by Justin Jefferson. 184 yards, 2 touchdowns, 9 catches on 11 targets. This guy is up and coming. I remember when he came out in the draft, everybody was talking about it was like a top 3 at that with that receiving class with Ruggs, Judy, and CD. And I remember telling people, I said, it's not just a top 3, it's a top 4. It's just, I don't know why he got slept on. I think he kind of got overshined by Jamar Chase at LSU, and Jefferson just kind of strictly played in the slot, so we didn't see his full capability outside, which we have seen now in the NFL. I think all those guys brought something different to the table. Like Ruggs was your deep speed guy. Judy was more of like the route technician. Judy is still like phenomenal route runner. CD was like your playmaker, yards after the catch guy. And I feel like Justin Jefferson was kind of all them tied in together, but he just didn't get the recognition that he should have in that draft class. And we see that he's turning out to where he's been the best by far. But that wraps it up for this video. Let me know what players you guys want to see. For right now, I'm kind of just gonna break down who really like stands out on Sundays, maybe Thursdays, Monday nights. Other than that, though, if you guys made it this far, hope you have a good day. And looking forward to seeing more Justin Jefferson this season. Make sure y'all subscribe, like the video. Peace.